Good afternoon, everybody, and happy Friday. I hope you guys had an amazing day today. I know I did. We had a really clean morning today. We had SRXH explode this morning. Look at this. Over 120% from the open to the high of day. We were able to play it like a freaking fiddle. So we're going to walk through every single trade that I took this morning on this. An amazing day. Only really traded this today, so it's going to be a pretty easy recap today. But before we get into it, here's what I played today. A whole lot of, well, SRXH. So this thing was amazing today. Really just one of those days where you just zone in on the one thing that looks good, zone in on the obvious stock, and the stock that's giving that opportunity is likely to keep on giving the opportunity, and that's exactly what we were able to do this morning. So let's go ahead and break it down. Now, I'm extremely happy with today. There wasn't a whole lot moving out there today that I was really a fan of. You had a couple of stuff into the open, which I was watching. You had that PMNT moving at the bell, and I was watching that initially, and I just wasn't really a massive fan of price action. You can see here it broke out at the bell. Never really set up off of VWAP, so didn't play that. You had PPSI chopping around like crazy as well. This thing was disgusting out of market open. This thing popped at the bell. Big wick off the high at 570, which we knew was our range here. Just not a good setup. But where we had the opportunity was that SRXH, and it's all you needed today. It was the one obvious stock out there that you had to be watching today. And I was able to trade this, 10 times, 11 times for profit today. This thing was amazing. So, that was a mouthful, but let's look into it here. First and foremost, we know this was a big gapper back in pre-market. Tons of volume this morning. I mean, this thing was going and gone. This thing went from 30 cents all the way to 50 cents and pretty much did not stop the whole way. You had this little micro pull back off of VWAP, and then the leg continued here from 39 back to 50. Now, crazy move, but look at the daily time frame. First thing we have to do before doing anything else is identify range. And we can see here on SRXH, well, for one, massive volume today, but for two, daily range here was pretty dang nice. So we knew using these past daily levels that we had room here back to about 70 cents. How do we know that? Well, we can use these past levels on the daily time frame to, again, let us be aware of, check this out, where these past areas of resistance sit on the chart. And so in understanding that, we know that we have those past highs to work with for our range to the upside. So we have the 70 cent, then we have sort of 80, then $1 overhead, then $1.50, and so on and so forth, and able to do really well using those levels now that we've identified that. And so we knew going out of the open today, based off of these daily levels, that we had a pretty good setup here. And we knew based on, again, these pre-market levels. And so every single trade here today was using my very simple, and so every single trade here this morning pretty much was using my super simple supply and demand based strategy. Now, that's where I find myself doing best. And you can see here, I tried to take some micro pullbacks back here in pre-market to start this morning. Had some very small little wins trying to break the ice. I was looking for that breakup higher to sort of ride this momentum here. Didn't get that breakup through this previous high, but took small profit after finding a seller here. And same story here, rejected off of VWAP, took full profit, and so on and so forth. But after the open was where this really made some good money today. Now, what we have happened here, a few things to note. Check this out. Consolidation followed by leg down. These become areas of interest, or what we call areas of overhead supply. And so I know that this area here becomes an area of supply. Let me fix this so it doesn't disappear on you. This here becomes an area of supply. And so then I found my entry opportunities this morning just trading it using these super simple supply and demand based pivots. And so we have this area here, which becomes an area of supply after it knifes to the downside. And so the only way to then trade this is if it then reclaims trend. And so we have to wait for buyers to show back up over this area of supply and then pull back for that dip entry using confluence. And so what we have here happen is pretty awesome. Price finds strength out of this area of supply, and then we get a grab of liquidity right off of VWAP. Now we have multi-piece confluence here with the VWAP, the moving averages, and the bottom of this zone. So we're playing on the pullback, this confirmed area of demand after it grabs liquidity off this pullback. We have VWAP, we have moving averages, and we have, most importantly, range. And so this thing really was a perfect setup today using the super simple supply and demand based strategy. So the first trade here out of the bell, I took it off the pivot here at 43, got to move all the way to 50 cents. Where did I take profit? Well, it's no question. I took it back profit. I took profit back up into this previous high of day, back up into this overhead area of supply. And so again, same story goes. We're looking for pullback entries after price then confirms above. So this area of supply, I want to see price break above and confirm it to now be an area of demand for an entry opportunity. And so again, same story went here. Same story. I was a little bit hesitant because of this knife off the high where it rejected, but I still played it fairly well. I took the pullbacks through here. You can see I added back on this dip, and I got to move here a couple of times, playing it off these pullbacks from 52 back to about 55. and even through here from 55 to 57 and so on and so forth. Just played those pullbacks very well. And then again, the same story goes here. Look at this. This wick off the high then becomes another area of then formed liquidity. And so again, we have more opportunities off the pullbacks through here. And so again, it's just rinse and repeat, focusing on that obvious stock that just keeps on providing these really predictable opportunities. And so again here, what we have happen is, look, price again breaks above this area of previously formed supply, pulls back and finds a buyer. This now becomes an area of demand. We have these higher lows formed to risk off of. And again, I capture a move here from 61 to 66 cents back up into this previous high. And so I'm just trading this thing like an absolute flute today, just using these areas of liquidity as confluence, and it's just working out so well. I do it again. Look, this way wick off the high here again creates an area of supply. And so again, what do? I take pullbacks off that previous high. Price breaks out, pulls back off the 90 MA, scalp it back up into the high of this range here, back in the previous supply. Same story, price pulls back off the bottom of this descending channel. I take it again, and guess what? I get to move back up into the top of its channel again from 67 back to 71 cents. And I just rinse and repeat. Eventually, structure breaks. Price finally makes this last move to the highs here over 70 cents. And guess what? I don't take it here because as soon as it breaks out, we find a big seller here off the highs. And at that point, we know what the market's trying to tell us. This thing is likely done. Big seller found over the high of day. And then it breaks structure back to the downside. This is your sign that this stock is now done for the day. This big old rejection off the high, this big old liquidity grab over the highs shows you this stock is done for the day. So I was able to trade it all through here. So many opportunities today, and that's really all it takes to lock in a beautiful Green Friday and go into the weekend on a stress-free note. So today was an amazing day. I'm super happy with it, but that's really how I traded the most obvious stock in the market today with the strategy that tends to fare me well. So that was today. That's the recap. Hopefully you guys had an amazing Friday today as well. The market is slowly but surely heating back up into the fall and winter months. I'm looking forward to it. We're already seeing the starting phases of that today and really yesterday as well. Stocks this week have been going crazy, and we saw some really good clean opportunity both yesterday and today. So that being said, if you learned something from this video, make sure to hit that subscribe button for daily content just like this. And of course, as always as well, make sure to claim access to your 7-day free trial to watch me trade stocks just like this in real time every single day and get access to the watch list, alerts, education, chat room access, and so much more. That being said, have an amazing weekend, and I'll catch you guys there.